I've been having an amazing time going through all these Black Rose elemental temples. Now that I've finally started doing them again, they really connect with me so hard. The most recent temple I did was the Black Rose Temple of Earth, which I didn't think I had much of a connection to Earth. But after going through it, and what somebody in one of the forums said, starts to make me think maybe otherwise. Although, I don't know, I guess everyone has a connection to all of the elements because we're all, part of the world and connected to all these things at all times and all that. So I have to wonder, why do we feel more connected to certain elements and less connected to others? Is it like astrological signs? Is it how we're raised? Is it, environment versus the old debate of nature versus nurture, right? It's like, why are we the way we are? I have to get socks because my feet are freezing. Better. No, I forgot what I was talking about. So being connected to the Temple of Earth was far different than I was expecting. I'm not huge into like garden witchery, like my partner totally is. I mean, we have plants. I'm literally surrounded by plants right now that you guys can't see. Hang on. If you can see, it might be too bright, so I'm sorry. There's plants up here. There's plants over here. There's a giant plant over in the corner you can't see. I'm surrounded by plants, and perhaps that's part of it, or perhaps when last summer when I grew my own sage and basil and I made my own smudge sticks, that may have really helped me reconnect with that aspect. Honestly, I do miss, like the more I think about it, the more obvious it becomes my connection to it, because the vast majority of my childhood I spent outside when it wasn't freezing. I mean, it was Michigan, right? So it's like snow everywhere during the good chunk of the year. But when it was warm out, I was always in the park by my parents' house, and I wasn't around electronics or things, and I was just digging through dirt, and I was just experiencing the outside, and I was smelling it, and I just remember the feeling of it in my hands and all that. And I always thought I just wasn't an earth guy because, elemental earth guy. I always thought I wasn't an earth guy because I never had like plants in my house or anything outside of those, the sage and stuff that I was growing. And I guess that's not really indicative of what I am, right? I mean, my connection to water was always something I knew was super obvious. My connection to fire was always something that was very obvious to me. My connections to air and earth, on the other hand, far less so. And yet, ironically, air was the temple I had the most extreme experience with, and I had no idea that was like going to even happen. I'm so happy I did this because it really helped me understand a lot of things that are going on in my life at this moment, during this recording at least, and how to move forward and how to grow and how to be more than I am today. So after going through the whole process of entering into the temple and connecting with the black bull of the element, the earth element in this tradition. And my camera just decided to stop recording, so that was fun. So after connecting with the black bull of the earth element, something happened that I was very much so surprised. The bull turned around and promptly took a giant dump in the middle of the path. I didn't know at first what he was trying to say. Was he trying to say that I was full of crap? Was he trying to say that I'm not... maybe it was just my imagination, playing tricks on me. And so I wasn't quite sure how to proceed with that. I was just like, okay, all right, help. And so I went, and he beckoned me sort of like to follow him down the path, And so as I passed the giant steaming pile, it was like all of a sudden something downloaded into my head, and all of a sudden I understood what it was he was trying to say. And basically he was trying to say, I have to leave the crap behind me, in the most literal sense of the words, as well as figuratively. it hit me so fast that what I need to do is ignore all the bullshit of my past thinking, of the way I used to be, because a lot of what I am now is destroying that which I used to be, because that which I used to be no longer serves me. It just doesn't work for me anymore. Who I want to become and who I want to be is so much more than what I was. And so I needed to renegotiate what it meant to me to live in this mundane realm. Specifically and especially surrounding my feelings on money. I, for the vast majority of my life, have despised the concept of money. I find I'm not one of those people who thinks it's the root of all evil. I just feel like it is directly connected. Without money, it would be much more difficult to be greedy, though obviously greed is still a thing that would exist. It's a whole separate issue. Let's not get into that now. But I had to leave my ideas that I could live without it, or that I could ignore it safely and pretend like it wasn't existing, or pretend like it's something that doesn't matter to me or is inconsequential to my life, because that's clearly not true. I need money to eat and live and pay for stuff. I'd leave all of my feelings and thinking, my anarchistic sort of feelings towards a lot of that kind of stuff, and I have to leave it behind. I have to move beyond that in order to continue moving forward down this path. It really just feels like anything that we consider to be so excruciatingly negative in terms of something inanimate, like money, actually holds us back as much as anything. And so I want to grow and I want to move forward. I don't want to be stagnant in any way. And that's one of the things that would have kept me stagnant, is an unwillingness to acknowledge money, and as my partner helped me understand, respect it in a way that I never did before. That doesn't mean I have to like it or particularly enjoy it, because I don't. And also I firmly believe we would be a lot better off without it. But other than that, I definitely feel like I can move forward with this newfound knowledge and this newfound way of thinking. I like that. It was beautiful. And then we kept going forward, and we ended up in the Earth Temple, which was freaking incredible. It was so cool, like in this cave, and there was like the sun of the core of the Earth, and it was connecting with the moon, the full moon outside, and it was just making this big. It was very intense and very beautiful, and I loved every second of it. And I can't wait to go back. And I already did. One of the things that we had to bring with us was the Earth Temple rock, which was actually meant to be a green cube. This is not exactly a cube. It's very similar. It is raw green citrine? Yeah, I think so. I think raw green citrine. I went to a metaphysical shop looking for some sort of green cube. I wasn't expecting it to be an actual stone, but this was the one that really spoke to me. And I feel like it makes more sense to me personally of being a stone, that came from the earth, and the green and citrine naturally grows in these sort of like squarish shapes. It made the most sense to me. It was the thing that I can just hold it and I can feel that Earth Temple just pulsating through it. It's so cool. The connection means more to me than just some like a metal green cube or anything like that, or any other potential cube-like things I could have found. You know what I mean? And so it was wonderful. It was awesome. I loved every second of it. I love this path. Black Rose is such a great school. I'm gonna recommend it a million times because it's just so good. And with that, I bid you adieu. And remember, a witch bows to no one, not even the gods. Peace.